Betsy, so glad you're here. What do we have coming up on the show?
Well, I'm so excited. I've been working on a great new treat for you. Super healthy, super fantastic, super tasty.
Wait. Yeah.
But I know that Turkey Dan is coming, so I made sure to bring some turkey treats.
Oh, nice.
Turkey treats?
Well, we should probably catch up with him.
We got to go after that.
Later.
That you're doing on purpose, sing like a singing on key. Talk to the girl that intimidates you, pretend that you're brilliant and charming. I said pretend that you're brilliant and charming. Hey!
Yes, everybody, welcome in. Later with Jason Suel. Glad that you are tuned in. Betsy joining us once again. What's up, Betsy?
Hey, Jason.
Hey. Man, we got a fantastic show lined up, and you're joining us again, which makes it even better.
Of course.
And okay, so we were talking about this. Obviously, you're a personal trainer, and we're coming into sort of those colder months where we're going to be having all of these gatherings.
Where we eat.
Where we do all the eating.
All the things.
Right. So as a personal trainer, how do we sort of offset maybe the food? And what's maybe something we can keep in mind that will help us not to overindulge so frequently?
The calories during Thanksgiving and Christmas don't count.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
No, actually, they do. They do.
Dang it.
I was lying.
Oh, that's too bad.
They do.
Yeah.
One of the biggest things to keep in mind when we're having all of these gatherings and we're eating all of these extra things is to just kind of follow the 80-20 rule. Now, when it is the holidays, I kind of like to make it more of a 70-30 rule. We want to be good. We want to eat our normal stuff, our normal calorie intakes. We want to be watching to make sure that we're getting our protein and our fiber in our diet 80% of the time.
Okay.
And then allow ourselves to have all of the extras in the treats 20% of the time.
Okay, but to help us with our nutrition, guess what? Betsy is joining us at our chef's table, so she's going to be making something delicious that does involve chocolate. I saw real chocolate down there.
I do eat real chocolate. It is a 2-ingredient tart.
Ooh.
It is chocolate and applesauce.
All right, sounds like something even I could make, so stick around for that. We're also going to be interviewing Turkey Dan. That's right. Turkey Dan is back. He has escaped the clutches once again of Turbo Dan. He will not be on the platter as a Thanksgiving feast this year, and he's going to give us the tips of the trade. How does he do that? We're going to find out on this show. And then our musical guest, the amazing Urban Jazz Collective, joining us. So stick around. We got all that fun happening later. We're chatting with Rafi and Donian, two very mustachioed gentlemen joining you, right? Because, this month, it's November. We've got campaigns happening. We've got No Shave November, Movember, all of those things raising great awarenesses about their causes.
Right.
But I thought we could chat with you just about facial hair.
Yeah, and we certainly have started our No Shave November very nicely over here, growing out.
Yeah, it didn't take very long. It was just like overnight, poof, here it is.
That has long been a statement of both fashion and hygiene. Shaving, though, the trends changed back then as they do today. Alexander the Great, for example, he didn't want the beards on his soldiers so that enemies don't grab onto him. So he was clean-shaven, his soldiers clean-shave at some point, and when they do so, that changes the trend for centuries. What would they use for razors back then?
What?
They used like copper, for example, or bronze. They might use it, or even clamshells, if you go even before then, to be able to shave. Not a very, safe experience. What happens, though, is technology changes everything. So, for example, Gillette, you know what his first name was? King Gillette.
Really?
King was his first name, yeah. So he's not actually a king, but that was his first name. And in the late 1890s and into the early 1900s, he creates a technology to be able to have a disposable razor. And that changes everything because now you're buying these razors a bunch of times, the replacements a bunch of times, the proprietary stuff. You're buying a horsehair brush because originally you were taking soap and you're going to go like this to use the lather. But then you get some better stuff, including the first shaving cream. Barbasol in 1919 came up with the first shaving cream, and that made it so that you could have a smoother, less irritated shave. He was a chemist, believe it or not. The guy who started Barbasol. Barbasol, by the way, barb, beard, that's what it's coming from. That's what you're using the term from, right? So look how this consistency is creamy.
Yeah.
Right? This is this is the early one.
That's a classic shaving cream?
That is a classic shaving cream. This is actually the original one that they came out with.
That's a lot
changed
different
everything.
than this.
It is different. So that was the 1919. By the 1950s, you get these aerosols, and Barbasol converts over to the aerosol, and you get this foam, which is a different consistency, right? A different texture.
Yeah.
And this makes it so that you have the aerosol. You can actually kind of put more in here, if you will, right? Now, the reason Barbasol becomes such a classic and has that staying power is because in World War II, they were part of the supplies that were given to soldiers, believe it or not. And so as a result, it became really popular to use it that way, you know? And they've done all kinds of other campaigns, of course, beyond that, and advertising. And it has a classic red, white, and blue that's also associated with the barbershop.
That's it.
So they really hit it off pretty well.
It's even kind of in a swirl pattern.
That's right.
As well,
That's right. Just like you might find outside a barbershop.
Rafi, thanks for filling us in on the, kind of the history of facial hair.
Changing notions of,
I love it.
of fashion.
Oh, look out. Yes, stick with us. We'll be right back. More happening later. Welcome back, folks. Turkey Dan joining us right now. It is the season for Turkey Dan, and
it is that time of year again.
If you don't know, Turkey Dan has been on our show for several seasons now, usually around this time of year, because what has happened is that you have been able to escape the evil clutches of Turbo Dan, who always thinks he's going to cook you up for a Thanksgiving feast.
But never been successful. I'm still here.
And you've escaped him once again this year?
He's already got his turkey, so I avoided it again this year.
Wow.
Yep.
What's the method to that? How do you avoid him every year?
I got to get creative every year. I've used many different methods over the years. This year, what I did is I just hid. That's all I did. It was so easy. He's been keeping his grass real tall.
Okay.
Real tall, and he tells the city that it's resistance training for whenever he does his sprints. But I just think it's because his mower doesn't work. But I just hid. I just hid in the tall grass. I've been hiding since Labor Day.
What?
Yes, since Labor Day. I'm just not
in the same spot. Or
yeah,
you
just being completely still. He has vision like a T-Rex. He can't see me if I don't move.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I don't know. Betsy, what do you think about all this? Maybe is this your first time meeting Turkey Dan?
This is my first time meeting Turkey Dan. I am impressed by the endurance involved in being still that long, and you're not like moving around now like some just brick that's stuck. How'd you do that?
Yeah.
It just comes natural to me, I guess. Like I really am a superior turkey specimen, so.
Do you have a special move or?
I do have some special moves.
Okay.
Like in the past, I've evaded Turbo Dan several times, and I've done that by doing some tree ups.
Okay.
Okay, and that's just where you go into the top of a tree, and whenever Turbo Dan goes into the top of the tree, you go down.
Okay.
And whenever he goes down, you go back up to the top of the tree.
Those are called tree ups.
Yeah,
Tree ups. I love it.
Okay.
But my signature move,
Yeah.
I call it the jive.
Oh.
Yeah, the jive.
Okay, we gotta see this, Turkey Dan.
Well, I'm not able to do the jive anymore like I used to. I'm getting old.
Yeah.
I'm getting real old. But the idea behind the jive is that you jump in the air and dive on the ground at the same time.
Oh, it's a jump
so
and a
it's
dive.
A jump dive.
Okay.
Yeah, you jump and dive at the same time.
But
it is unstoppable, Jason.
Okay, I'm just trying to visualize. It seems like you're in the same place, so Turbo Dan
It
just
really
stand there
confuses everybody,
and
is what
catch
it
you.
does. It confuses everybody. They stand real still and gives you just enough time to get away.
Right. Are you making any turkey noises while you do this, or just complete silence?
I mean, you let out some aggressive gobbles so that they know that you mean business, of course.
So, I mean, it's no secret. You have sort of evaded Turbo Dan for the last several years, but also you're not a young
spring
Jake
chicken.
anymore. That's right. You're certainly not spring chicken.
No, it's time. It's actually time that I start teaching the younger generations about how to evade Turbo Dan.
Betsy, You're a personal trainer. Any sort of suggestions for exercises that maybe Turkey Dan could use to incorporate into his classes for this next generation of turkeys?
So I'm definitely thinking if he's going to keep up the evading, it's definitely going to get trickier. Surely Turbo Dan is going to start to figure this out.
Yeah.
So you might need to be working on your mobility so those tree ups work out a little bit faster, a little bit easier. Maybe working on that landing, getting some joint impact going on there. You might throw in a little bit of strength training because you never know what's coming.
That's true. Yeah. Have you thought about any of those?
Oh yeah, I mean I train for strength all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you do like push-ups? How do you train?
We
for
go
strength?
wing ups. Yeah.
Wing up,
yeah.
okay.
We really don't have like arms.
Right.
Like most people do.
So you just wing it up.
Yeah, we just wing it most of the time.
Turkey Dan, thanks as always, and best of luck on this new venture you have going on. Best of luck on next year. Also, I hope you're not too old. I hope you don't get caught by Turbo Dan.
I still have a few tricks up my sleeve.
Oh, I can't wait for that. Stay with us. We've got a few tricks up our sleeve as well. It's all happening later.
Our musical guest brought to you by Walton Arts Center. Walton Arts Center, presenting the West Street Live series.
Ladies and gentlemen, Urban Jazz Collective. Yes, everybody, welcome back. We're down here at the chef's table. Betsy bringing us some treats. Also got some treats for Turkey Dan, who's sticking around for this one too.
I could not let Turkey Dan go hungry.
I really appreciate
What
this.
did
This
you
is
bring
really
Turkey
nice.
Dan?
Turkey Dan has nuts, seeds, berries, and worms.
Gummy worms.
Gotta make sure those worms are in there because you need the fiber too.
Yeah.
Wiggles all the way down, helps it all move through.
I guess it would be rude for me not to eat this.
Right, absolutely. This
got-
works
you got
into
it.
your, your training regimen that we were talking about earlier.
Okay, so we have a chocolate tart.
The big reveal happens right at the beginning.
See, I
Amazing.
almost didn't even do
Looks
that.
nice.
There's some good stuff in there.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's talk about how we got here.
Okay.
Now you can do this the hard way or you can do this the easy way.
I'll take the easy way.
Okay, so the hard way is you are going to take your apples, you're gonna cut them up kind of small, you're gonna put them in your pan, and you're gonna add a little bit of water, you're gonna cook them down. You're basically making your own applesauce, not adding anything to it. It is
Okay, just
your
apples?
Just your apples,
That's
okay? Whether you are using...
you peel them?
You do peel them.
Okay.
Now these you are. Now if I were making applesauce at home just for me, I would not because
you
I
like the
to have the fiber in there.
Yeah.
I like the peel, I like the little bit of texture, but in this case, you don't want that texture.
Okay.
So do peel them, okay? Now, whether you are using apples or you are making you are just going to cheat and
that's
use some
the
applesauce.
that's the easy way?
This is the easy way.
You didn't make that?
I did, but I wanted to make people think that they could do it.
Oh,
I
yeah,
see.
smart.
Oh, okay.
Easy.
How
So
are your treats
I
taste?
keep
Oh, they're
these,
delicious.
they're so
These
good.
gummy worms aren't
They're
half
so-
bad.
I like a good gummy worm. I do
Yeah.
like a good gummy worm. Okay, it's going to take way more than you think it's going to. I'm actually going to use every bit of this, but whether you are, and right in here, whether you are using your own applesauce or you are using store-bought applesauce, scrape that in there.
Yeah.
You still need to stick it in the blender and blend it down until it is in a very, very, very smooth texture. What happens if you don't is then you've got a grainy piece of tart and nobody's really gonna want it. Okay, so blend this way down. While this is blending down, we are going to take an insane amount of chocolate chips into a double boiler. Now, I like to use dark
That's insane.
chocolate chips.
That's like a normal
like a
amount
hand-
for
just
me.
a handful.
That's a Saturday night.
This was my snack. I like to use dark
Okay.
chocolate chips. You can use whatever really
This is
works for you.
53%
This
cacao.
is 53. This
Would
was
you go
my,
up to, like,
This was
80?
my secondary bag.
Okay.
I actually used 75% in here.
75. Okay.
The darker, the richer this is going to be.
Uh-huh.
So it's kind of up to you, but you don't want to, this is the one instance where I'm going to tell you, don't get the sugar-free version because you need it to have lectin in it.
Okay, so get full-fat chocolate morsels.
Regular old chocolate morsels because that lectin is what's going to help it firm up. We're going to put this over a low heat. You would have water, a little bit of water in the bottom of it, low heat to let it
Melt.
Right, now you
okay.
can also do that in the microwave. It's a little bit trickier actually to do it in the microwave. You're more likely to make it seize that way. However,
What does that
once it's
mean? Is that
melted,
when you-
seize,
when you
that's
cook it
when
too much?
You cook it too much
can
and it
smell
starts
it.
to get grainy
Yeah,
and weird.
yeah.
You don't want that.
I didn't know that was the word for it. I do that all the time.
So once that's done, we're gonna put that in there as well.
Okay.
Let it cool just a little, put that in there as well. Give it a good blend. With your springform pan, make sure you spray your pan and then also put parchment paper in the bottom. You don't have a crust.
Okay.
It's going to stick.
And
if
you're using
you
olive
don't.
oil spray.
I'm using olive oil spray. I also like an avocado oil spray. Whatever spray you have is fine, friends. I'm not going to be super picky.
Right.
You're going to use your knife to slide around the edges before you open it up. That's a great way to test it and see if it's completely done.
ready?
This actually needs to sit in the fridge for 4 to 5 hours minimum.
Okay.
It's better if it can stay overnight.
Overnight,
And you
right.
want to serve it cold. Now, mine actually also has chocolate ganache on the top.
Wow.
Ganache is a fancy word and super easy to make. Again, we are going to take our chocolate chips. This time we're not
just
melting
means like
them in the
goop.
double goop. Yes.
Right.
We're not melting them in the double boiler. We are actually going to heat up our coconut milk.
Oh, okay.
And then we are
This
going
is
to
way
use
more
our
than 2 ingredients.
coconut milk.
But I'm still
in there.
tracking.
The original part without the ganache was
Okay.
2 ingredients.
Okay.
That was 2.
Unless you
I've
added this.
more. Unless there's 3.
And you had to use this.
Now I'm still using chocolate chips. That
Sounds
was in
like
the
false
original one.
advertising.
Sounds like
my
false advertising, I know.
Lord. I'm taking my tart and I'm going.
No, we want you to
We're
stay. We want
leaving.
you to stay.
Okay, so we're gonna use this to melt this. This
Okay.
is gonna get hot. It's gonna go in here. It's gonna melt. It's going to form a beautiful frosting that's gonna go on top. Okay, now, Are y'all ready to try this?
Yes, we've been talking
Let's
about it.
eat it.
I don't know if turkeys will like this, but we're about to find out.
I'll try anything once.
You know what? We're gonna have to eat with our hands because I didn't bring us
Oh,
forks.
no problem. It's cold, right? So
It is cold. It is cold.
Nice.
Now, the cool thing about this, it's so rich. This little dude right here makes about 15 servings. You do not want a big piece at all. You do want a sharp knife to cut it because as you can see,
yeah.
it is quite
It's
thick.
got the consistency of like a fudge, I feel like.
It's going to definitely have a fudge feel to it. Turkey Dan, is chocolate going to be okay for you?
I think I could give it a shot.
Yeah, do it.
He ate so many worms.
Just like this, I just eat it
Here
just
we
like
go.
this.
Yep, just like that.
Thank you for bringing us this.
so good.
It's really good.
Absolutely. What do you think?
Oh,
Even for turkeys.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. I mean, it's pretty good.
All right.
Not as good as Turbo Dan's desserts, but
Right.
You know.
Well, you would know. Turkey Dan gives us 2 talons up, I guess. I don't know. Is that what you call those claws you have?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Stay with us. We've got more fun happening later. Yes, everybody, that's our show. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, you can find us out there on your social media platforms or send us an email over at laterwithjasonsuel.com. And you can find all of our previous episodes on our YouTube channel. Just search Later with Jason Suel. Before we get out of here, we got to thank all of our amazing guests, including Betsy, for joining me once again and bringing us this delicious treat.
And thank you so much to Turkey Dan for coming and enjoying this delicious treat.
Absolutely, and what a treat it was to have the Urban Jazz Collective on the show. That's our show. We'll see you later, alligator.
After a while, crocodile.
All right, I'll have some of that.
Do it.